folks, welcome back to the channel and thank you for tuning in. So we're here to do a review of episode 8, season 2 of The Boys. Now I was supposed to do a review after my live reaction, but I had to take a moment. Because what a finale. A stellar end to a brilliant series. The creators, they managed to pull off something which is almost a rare commodity. A finale worthy of the entire series. I was completely blown away by this episode. For me, this show has already left an indelible mark on the superhero genre. I mean, there were many fan predictions that were actually played out in this episode, but man, it was so masterfully crafted. They got the tone so right. Each story arc was well woven into the plot to create an epic and cathartic conclusion, which saw characters like Maeve shine. The storytelling is just perfection, and when you think about the commitment of this cast, they had to deliver some of the most controversial, salacious and heart-rending moments. It just solidifies the show as one of the best. And I'm not just reducing this show to the category of TV streaming services. I'm talking movies as well. Yep, movie franchises. Yep, I've gone there. Now, before I give my full rundown of the most defining moments of this episode, which is mostly in the second and third act, can we please have a moment? Can we please have a moment for that fight sequence? You know, when all the girls got information against Stormfront. That scene was everything, okay? They certainly knocked it out of the ballpark. Now, The Boys is known for its great set pieces and action sequences, but in this episode, they elevated that. As soon as I saw Kimoki smiling, I was like, okay, it's on. This scene, this whole action sequence was just brilliant. If you're going to have an all-girl team up, this is how you do it. This was so impactful, so comedic at the same time. It was just everything. And the guys just stood back and French was like, girls really do get the job done. I was like, yes, we do. No, it was just brilliant. Loved it. Now, in contrast, there were many beautiful and tender moments in this episode, one of which was Homelander and his son. It was nice to see Homelander's parental side and how much he actually yearned to be a parent, and that rapport between him and Ryan. I loved those scenes. I even appreciated Stormfront trying to encourage Homelander to speak to your son. I just thought those scenes were beautifully played out, and I was so happy that they kept the tone of those scenes. They didn't interject with unnecessary dialogue or action sequences. They just let those scenes play out, and I actually wanted those scenes to linger a bit more because it was so enjoyable to see Homelander's human side. Despite all his ills, it was just nice to see that facet of his character. And again, the scenes between Billy and Becca, those were some of the most emotional scenes throughout the run of season 1 and season 2. And I really like Billy Butcher's eccentricities, that Aussie persona. But in this episode, I think this was Karl Urban's best performance. It was so raw, so emotional, it was just fantastic. Now, the most defining moments of this episode. Number 1, the boys given a lifeline by A-Train. Secondly, Billy Butcher making an unhanded deal with Edgar to separate mother and son, but then he has a moment of redemption and changes course of action, but still ends in a catastrophic sequence of events. Stormfront is finally exposed. In a bid to save his mum from Stormfront, Ryan's actions inadvertently kills his mum, but he sets Stormfront to gas mark obliteration. He just lights her up. The seminal all-girl fight sequence highlight. Maeve blackmails a distraught Homelander, either give up your son, leave everyone alone, or be exposed. On the news. And Victoria Newman is exposed as a soup, responsible for that head explosion scene in episode 7. So, in one fell swoop, Ryan has taken away the loves of his father and Billy Butcher. So what is to become of a very unhinged Homelander? It's literally Maeve's puppet. Does he remain in that circumstance, or will he revert back to that conniving and autonomous Homelander? As for Billy Butcher, he's now in the wind, and although distraught, he kept the promise to raise Becca's son in the best way he feels fit. But once he gets an insight as to what's happening with Hughie and Victoria Newman, we'll see his return. He'll be back to full form. And as for Stormfront, is she actually dead? Or will she somehow be able to regenerate herself as part of her powers? Who knows? But at the end, when Homelander was given that press conference, he kind of inferred that she is now imprisoned. So maybe that was the most appropriate statement to give, as opposed to, oh, she's been terminated. But who knows? She may come back in season 3, but as she's now been exposed, I don't really see the need for her character to re-emerge in season 3, but we shall see. As for the rest of the boys, I really love those last scenes where you see MM finally going back to his family, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with Kimiko and Frenchie. I love that last scene, they're walking out of that basement. It's just brilliant. It's like I'm more excited for their journey. But guys, please comment below, what did you think about this episode? What are your predictions for season 3? I'd love to read your comments below, and thank you ever so much for watching my video. If you got this far, it's very much appreciated. I'm going to watch that episode again because it's just brilliant. If you agree with me, it was just, what a ride. Absolutely brilliant. I can't wait for season 3. I'm so happy that season 3 has been agreed. It was a bit tentative as to whether there would be a season 3. Only goodness knows when it's going to be released. But anyway, at least we got season 2 to save us some more. So I'm going to rewatch that episode. Thoroughly enjoyed it. What a ride. Just brilliant. Anyway guys, I'll see you soon. Adios for now. Take care. Bye.